What are they
to
even
let 'em
used for besides like large like demonstrations of people, which is actually the worst place to use a horse because no matter how
pumping
trained.
out ladies in wheelchairs, obviously. Yeah, bring it up. Bring it up. Bring up the clip.
um, Bring up the clip. Okay, so for everyone who doesn't know, there's a famous incident during the trucker convoy where
The
a
the so
horse.
the so-called freedom convoy, air quotes. I hate how they fucking say that.
Yeah,
It was called the Freedom Convoy. It's not the so-called Freedom Convoy. Get the hell out of here.
yeah. Oh, they love to and demoralize it in any way possible. Um,
There it is.
yeah, let's see this. Warning, trigger warning. Okay, play the fucking. Come on. Why is the footage so grainy?
This is the best footage they have.
Like, why would you? Oh
First of all,
my
they're just
god.
muscling the crowd, and then there we go.
Oh my god. Okay, so that's literally the only thing they used them for, or at least like in this instance, like they used them to clear the way because if you don't get out of the way, it's a fucking horse. It's gonna stomp you
Mhm.
like it did there.
The only other time I've seen it seems gimmicky because it seems like something just to get attention. I mean, I guess that's the point, like being like, "Hey, there are cops here. Look, they're on horses." But it just seems like something for like the kids, you know? Look, mommy, a horse.
Well, because
I'm down Whoosie Street. Like,
at the end of the day, like you're not. It's one thing for like because the horse is a great tool to like get to places quick, right? But like you're not gonna have a horse that's trotting through the fucking city. I've never seen
we
a
also have
cop on
motorcycles. Like,
well, that, but I've also never seen a cop ever be in like pursuit of someone or a vehicle on a
no.
horse. Like they're not using them for that purpose. Like you never see one galloping through the bike lane because the roads are clogged and the person has to get to the emergency.
There's something you should look up. You should look up to see if there's a cop like horse chase or something.
Oh hell yeah, dude! There's got
I'd
to
like
be
to
one.
see like a purse snatcher or something running down the street, and there's just all of a sudden a cop rounds the corner on a horse.
What the fuck? Okay, only in America. All right. Well, this audio, I'm sure.
This guy took his
No,
job way too seriously.
it's a TV station. I'm not gonna play the audio. Wait. Oh my god. Oh, he has to go through like open traffic. Get that bad man. Get that bad. He's telling
Is
the horse.
that the guy he's chasing?
Yeah.
That
Why
guy
is
ain't
this?
even running.
Why is this so slow?
That guy doesn't even know how to run. I mean, I get it. A horse at a brisk jog. Oh,
That's it.
they got him.
Really? That was lame.
Man, that horse is living the dream.
Okay, let me see this. Oh, U-turn.
He was on his phone, that silver car, and then the
Oh,
car just drives away.
that's illegal. That's a legal U-turn. Nice, good job. Wait, but does he even write him a ticket? Like what
Oh,
happens?
what
He
a
just
he really chased him down. Ay, ay, ay. All right. All
that's
righty then.
it?
I think we've confirmed horses are no longer necessary.
Well, no, they are like they are. Okay, let's see this. Let's see this example, okay?
Like you said, crowd control maybe.
Yeah, Albuquerque, New Mexico. So this is actually going on a
Guy
chase.
walks the horse into the Walmart.
Yeah, no, he's taking in like tight spots. Like it looks like he's using it properly. Is he gonna dismount?
Why would you even, dude? I couldn't run. I'd be laughing too hard.
Yeah.
This is comical. Look at
Why is
him.
He's going out
Look at
into
him
the
trying to
road.
run. He's not even running. Like,
Dude, just oh, there's 3 of them.
I want. Yeah, that's what we needed. More horses.
I mean, they
Size of the horses too. Jesus.
why is he still moving? Like, dude, they'll just get off the horse and fucking arrest you. What are you doing?
He was charged with. He was a thief. $230 from Walgreens.
Okay. All right, so what? So here's the next problem. What, you put him on the horse's back like fucking Red Dead Redemption 2? You just hog tie him and put him
Oh, jeez.
like where
No, you call a cruiser.
no, but like once again, you don't know the reason why the horse comp is useless because
I
you
no,
can't even
my
do the thing that they used to do with horses, like the real thing.
yeah. Well, yeah, just drag him behind. Just tie him
Well,
by his
not
ankles and
okay.
drag
Well,
him to the
not
station.
not that. I don't know if I'd go that far, but just like, but
But
put him on the back, like secure
I
him, have
have
him on the saddle or something. I don't know.
I have a question. In all the clips we've seen, right? Let's take this one for example. They managed to save $230 for that Walgreens. How much do you think it costs to maintain these horses?
Good amount.
Are we winning in this situation?
I don't
Was
think
this
anybody
worth it?
wins. I don't think anybody wins in this situation.
The only people who win are the horses. Like, because they get to be out in the wild.
True, true. This is true. Um,
Ay, ay, ay.
yeah, that's very strange. What is the let's say for Toronto, what is the cost differential between having horses compared to motorbikes on police forces like Toronto? I also don't see them too often on motorbikes too, I noticed.
No.
Yeah, you don't really see that. Hold on, Toronto police bicycle? No, motorbike. What am I saying? Jesus. One sec. Okay, so they do have them.
Yeah, but I feel like motorcycle cops and mounted police, they're like a niche, you know? Like there's a need for them, but at the end of the day, driving a car with four wheels just makes more sense. First of all, as you pointed out, I can actually take somebody with me.
Yeah.
You know? Second of all, I'm protected in this vehicle. So if I end up in a police chase or in a shooting or any other dangerous situation, I actually have something to hide behind. Thirdly, you have more control on four wheels than you do with two. And I can't really speak for the maneuverability of a horse, but I'm pretty sure a horse can't get up to, 200 kilometers an hour. So you still lose.
Have you seen
I
this?
don't know, I get it, but what's that?
This is Kawasaki's robot horse. It's
Okay.
it's a concept vehicle. So they haven't actually made one that does everything it says in the video, but they basically made this mech that you can ride. So it's got stirrups, and it basically runs like combination between, I would say, a lion and a gorilla. The way that it looks.
Yeah, I'm seeing the lion part immediately.
Well,
It is very
bruh.
oh, I'm seeing the gorilla part now.
Yeah, that it could
This
just
is all CGI, isn't it? That all looked fake as hell.
No, this is CGI. So this is for those listening. This is a CGI rendering of what it would look like if you had like a mechanical lion under your feet, but it had the tactile like sense of getting around like a gorilla would essentially. It's an off-road vehicle. It's meant for like enthusiasts, but yeah, here they have like a mom and a son on the thing, or the other dude climbing a mountain.
Yeah, this would change the game for like paraplegics.
This would change the game for everything. It's got those are the hydrogen cells it has.
You remember when the Segways came out? And
When
people were
did this?
riding those all over the place? I feel like that's what that would be. It would be the new iteration of the Segway.
When was the Segway like? I think I.
It's not how you spell Segway, is
Well,
it?
I didn't think it was the dumb spelling. I thought it was the fancy spelling.
The fancy spelling, Segway. You spelled it with a Q.
Oh, whatever, dude. Whatever, man. Fucking
It's
fuck
just
you,
not
dude.
Segway. Like,
Yeah, the fancy way, dude. You don't know the fancy
the
way?
fancy way with the Q.
Oh, Beijing-based transportation robotics startup rival acquired Segway in 2015. Okay, so now China controls the Segway. Oh, in 2020 it canceled it. What do they still make then?
There are other companies that
Scooters.
must still make the Segway like
Ooh,
frame.
they got an e-go-kart. Self-balancing vehicle. Interesting. How much does the go-kart cost? I'm wondering. Order now. Bro, that ain't bad.
$500?
Yo. Is it street
It's
legal?
actually not. It's actually not bad. No, it's not street legal. It doesn't have headlights.
Oh my god, did you ever see that movie growing up about those kids that ran go-karts and they had like a thief ring? Like it was like fucking what's it called?
What?
Oh, there was a okay, there's a movie. This is a callback. Holy shit, I can't believe it hit me. Um movie about teenagers who are in a gang that rides go-karts and steals stuff. But they do it for a good reason because they do it to support their go-kart league, which gives a lot of kids hope. So there's a there's,
Mm,
there's your
catch
golden
the
heart element.
kid?
Um yeah, catch that kid. Yes.
I don't remember this at all. I never
Kristen
heard of.
Stewart and Corbin. Yeah, catch
That's
that kid.
Kristen Stewart.
Yeah. Legendary movie. That's Kristen Stewart.
Never heard of this.
Hell yeah, dude. There were these thieves that rode go-karts. They were extreme.
I'm not even seeing a go kart. They just look
Hold on.
like spies.
Let me see if I can. Should be able to show
Did they have
some.
one scene with a go kart, and that's all you remember from the movie?
Bro, these things are
What
fucking
the
dope.
hell? I haven't.
Oh
Okay,
shit. Oh shit, it's 5-0.
it's the
Oh shit.
popo.
Oh shit.
Book it.
Visor down. Let's go. Why wasn't your visor down the whole time? I don't understand. Why would you want to even risk revealing your identity? But all right. Look at him go.
Me.
Oh, the
What? They
cop
just
spun out.
spin out like
He
what?
spun out for no reason.
Oh wow.
Oh, he's running out of fuel.
Oh, you better tap your fuel meter. It always helps. Oh damn, the cops are back. I'm out of
Oh no,
fuel.
he's got to
Yo,
make the
hop on
jump.
my go kart. Yeah.
Oh. Oh shit, he destroyed it. Damn, that cop
Yeah,
just
because
ran over it.
that's what happens.
Wait, was there no driver there?
Driver where? In the car?
There's no second driver here. It's just one driver.
It's just one guy.
I just noticed that.
What happened to the other guy? Oh, I
Oh,
had to
there he is.
sacrifice the other kid.
No, there he is. There he is. There's a second guy.
Oh, what was that? What was that line from Ultron? Oh yeah, I had to kill the other guy.
Yeah.
He was a good guy.
Damn, bro, look at him go. Oh, Cobb get past that. Oh, even though he can't easily just mount the curb.
And
And
then
off they
somehow they
go.
get around. Dude, this is a fucking.
Oh, yeah, it keeps going. There's a whole scene. But yeah, this is a famous, well, not famous, or at least like I remember it.
Famous? I don't know about famous, bruh.
You know what? All right, fine. Let's check their fucking. Let's
My
check.
ass been on this planet for 3 decades. I ain't never heard of this movie.
Let's check.
Famous?
Let's check these. Okay, the box office numbers aren't great. Those are not great.
Hmm.
Those are not great. 12 and 17. That's not great. 12 budget, 17 box office. That is not ideal.
Should have saved that 250,000 from the vault.
What? What are you
Go
talking
up a
about?
little. Right there.
Oh, yeah. Why was there a book written about it? For what purpose?
Maybe the book came first.
Remember that was like a big thing. Um, what's it called? That was like a big deal back then. Like this idea of like the kids spy movies,
Oh yeah.
Spy Kids,
Everybody loves spies.
Agent Cody Banks.
I don't know. We had a spy thing for a while.
Dude, I wanted to buy spy shit when I was a kid. I would like have my
Oh yeah, me
parents buy
too.
me like spy toys and whatnot. Yeah.
I didn't even watch Spy Kids or Cody Banks or any of this stuff, and I was like, I would see one of those spy kits that had the watch and the pen and like the calculator and other random shit in it for like $20 and be like, I want this.
Wait, they had a TV show?
The
Oh.
watch has a laser pointer in it.
Oh, I remember that. Hell yeah, dude. You know there's a movie that they
The
made in
invisible
2023.
ink.
Oh yeah, with lemon juice. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they made a Netflix movie in 2023.
This looks so busted.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess they gotta
Didn't they bring back the original like actors too? Like when they're
wait.
older or something?
There was a fourth one and they had a dog.
Yeah, there's a reason we didn't hear about that one.
Bro, it did 85 mil
Oh.
at the box office compared to 27
That's
budget.
because Spy Kids 3 was huge, so everyone went to go see Spy Kids 4.
In 4D. Oh, dude, they did
Spy
smell. They did
Kids Spy Kids
smell-o-vision.
3D was huge.
You could
Smell-o-vision.
smell. Yeah, you could smell.
Smell is not a dimension, okay?
Technically, it is. That's what 4D is in theaters. Unless it's motion, it's smell. Like, what else do you have?
Still not a dimension. Like they're like in
Well,
4 dimensions. Smell doesn't give me another dimension.
I don't know, man. You tell me.
If it was,
Uh,
then I'm living in like 9 dimension right now.
dude, this movie actually did really well. 40 mil box or budget versus 197 box office. And
Oh
they
yeah,
would
Spy
have
Kids
like
3 was huge.
sick like characters every time or actors rather. Steve Buscemi was in this one. Sylvester Stallone was in the third one. Plus, who's that other guy? That's Banderas. No, no. Yeah, Ricardo Montalban. This guy
I don't
that
even know
played.
his name.
He played the grandpa.
Oh yeah. Is he dead now? Oh, he is.
Oh,
That's a shame.
100%. A
I mean,
hundred percent.
100%.
100%, dude.
You just look at a guy and you're like, yo, that guy's picture's in black and white. He's totally dead.
Yeah, that's how you tell, man.
He died in
2009.
2009.
Holy shit, he was 89. He was 80 when he filmed Spy Kids, because that came out when 2003. The guy was 83. Jesus Christ, 83 and you're acting? Wow. I figured by the time you hit your 70s, you're like, all right, I'm gonna start sitting a lot more often.
I mean, fair.
But yeah, Cody Banks. There was another one. What was the other one? It was this blonde kid, Alex something. Alex Stryker.
Oh, yeah, it was something like that.
Alex
Just look up
Stryker.
friggin' spy kid, spy like kids shows.
That was a spy movie. Kids spy movie. No, Cody Banks is not the one. No, kids spy movie about blonde kid. Maybe that'll help. No, it's Atomic Blonde. I swear he was blonde. He was British, I think, too. Spy Kids, Spy Kids. This is all Spy Kids shit.
Now you lost me. Yeah, you're gonna have a hard time putting spy and
No,
kids
no,
in
no.
the
All right,
same
hold on,
search.
hold on. I got this. What the? I'm not trying to call. What the? Yo, relax, bro.
Yo, Perplexity wants your number.
It wants my fucking voice. No, thank you, dude. Um, list all
As we put our
notable.
voices on the internet.
Bro, don't worry about it. List all notable spy movies that have kids as lead actors. The Pacifier. Oh my god, that wasn't that The
That was
Rock or Jason
that was
Statham?
technically a spy. No, it was Vin Diesel.
Oh yeah,
He
that was
was
a
the
weird.
babysitter.
Yeah, that was a weird
That was
one.
a good movie. I actually didn't mind that movie. It kind of reminds me of one of those like Arnold Schwarzenegger classics, you know? Like where they try to have this tough guy routine over it, but deep down he's soft and like
Caring
a father bear, you know? Yeah, caring and all that.
says a lot
And
about you
there's
that you
life
weren't able
lessons.
to think of caring, but yeah, go ahead.
Fuck you.
um, was it actually Cody
Who cares
Banks?
anyway? Caring's for bitches.
Okay, all right. Well, yeah. Why was the Spy Kids genre was it just literally just to sell toys like merchandising? Is that all that was?
I guess. Maybe because it was more of like it's one of those rarities where it didn't divide the genders. Like being a spy is unisex. It's attractive to both.
Oh my god.
So you could sell spy toys to little girls as well as you could little boys. Like it's a massive market. I don't know. Think of from this from a business perspective.
Yeah, the other thing is that like it's spying is actually what I've come to learn from everything that I've known about it is that spying is actually extremely mundane for the most part. Like it's not like there's obviously like contestuous moments or like you're in the middle of a global conflict, but a lot of the work is actually mundane just from everything that I've heard. Like I remember going to the Ontario Science Center. I don't know if they'll have the pictures of the exhibit, but I remember going to an exhibit as a kid. It was all about like spies and their world and how it operates. And yeah, probably not gonna find it here. It's very old. Um, but they had this like traveling exhibit going through museums, and it was basically just a lot of like code breaking and and surveillance. And then you ever see that movie Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy?
I don't think so.
Legendary movie. It's with oh my god, I'm the guy that played Bane. It was also in Mad Max.
Tom Hardy?
Yes. Jeez, I can't believe I blanked on that. So Tom Hardy's in it. Gary Oldman, fucking legend. Benedict Cumberbatch is in it. Colin Firth, this guy. Stephen Graham, who I'm pretty sure he played Al Capone in that one series, Boardwalk Empire.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
anyways, stacked cast. Toby Jones, everyone. It's there. Mark Strong, this guy.
Yeah.
Um, great movie. But basically, it tells the story of this fictitious event. Pretty sure it's fictitious, anyways. Where there was an issue with the UK branch of their army that does all the spy stuff. I think it's called the Circus. Um, and basically they had a report of a mole, and that was coming from the Russian embassy. And a lot of the scenes in the movie are very like just real. It, I know that's like a stupid way of qualifying it, but it just it felt genuine. Like there's a scene. Spoiler alert. There's a scene where this character goes to a drop off. He's like dropping off some information to another character, and they're like essentially exchanging info. And it's a cafe in this alley in like Czechoslovakia or some shit. And so the UK agent goes there. He's about to meet the other guy, and as he sits down, um, he's like, "All right, guy should be here in 5 minutes. If he's not here, like immediately get up and walk away. Order a coffee in the meantime. Just sit around, looking at the newspaper or whatever." And the waiter comes over, and the waiter's hand is kind of shaky. He doesn't think anything of it. And then enough time passes by where he looks around and he's like, "Oh, this is a trap. I gotta get the fuck out of here." Moment he leaves, he gets shot, and then it turns into a whole thing. But um, everyone immediately, like from the cafe, like gets up, and they are all actors. They're all like prepared the scene, and they set up, and they had somebody in the house like before. And anyways, um, it just seemed like, oh, that's feel like that's probably how it happens. It's just real quiet, and nobody really hears about this shit like that they do, and they're just people that are passing by. Like you'll be walking down the street in a busy city, and you could just be walking past the fucking guy that's just on a mission, and he doesn't even have to be from your country, and they're just everywhere.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, like they just what they do is they have training, and there's also a great documentary or a podcast series on this exact thing, which is a narrated interview of a uh of an ex-spy, an ex-Soviet spy. It's called The Agent. Highly recommend that everyone gives it a listen. It's fucking fantastic. Episodes are short. They're like, how long are they? They could be like 30 minutes or something, 40 minutes. Doing some chores, turn it on. It's great. But basically, the guy, what he said is he is a Soviet spy that was in East Germany, and he was initially just like a student, like somewhere high up in like some STEM field in East Germany, and he gets approached. Next thing you know, he's going to Canada. He has to live there for, I think, like 5 or 7 years to establish an identity, to have an alibi, maybe get into a relationship or something. Essentially, just create this whole idea of who you are. And then after that, you'll be moved to the States, because that was a lot easier than just flying like straight to the States and then having to start your life there. So he did that. Then he went to the States, where he had a wife and a kid in New York, and just did his spy shit. Like he was like a code developer for some company, and he'd just go into work, do his work, but then like on the way back, maybe he'd have to look out for like a certain window with a signal, or go to a place and pick up like a newspaper and put it elsewhere. Like it's just normal everyday stuff. That's it. They just blend in.
Mm.
So the implications of that, like if that's real and they used to do that back in, whenever, like why would they have any reason to stop?
Yeah, I mean, especially in the age of information.
Yeah, why would they have why would they have any reason to slow down on that? The last time that we ever caught one, from what I remember, besides that Novichok poisoning in the UK on an
Hmm.
ex KGB, I think it was an ex KGB. Yeah, he's a double agent for British intelligence. Yeah, fucking poisoned him with the tip of an umbrella.
That's some fucking spy shit right there.
They were found
How
unconscious
come
on
I
a
didn't get a
public
poisoned
bench.
umbrella in under the Christmas tree as a kid?
Oh, an eyewitness saw the woman foaming at the mouth with her eyes wide open, but completely white. Holy fuck. Holy shit. Did they die?
You think my job is traumatizing?
Whoa. A second police officer. This is only confirmed in 2019. That a second police officer had been poisoned while investigating, but only trace amounts.
Hmm. Didn't put the double shot in the umbrella.
Oh my god. In early 2019, building contractors built a scaffolding sealed frame over the house and the garage of Skripal's home. So the man that was killed. A military team or attacked anyways. I haven't confirmed if he died yet. Military team then dismantled and removed the roofs of both buildings over the course of 2 weeks. Cleaning and decontaminating was followed by rebuilding over a period of 4 months. Holy shit. They they took the house apart brick by brick.
Damn. I mean, you have to at that point, right?
Well, here on April 5th, British authorities said that the inside of Skripal's house, which had been sealed by police, inside of it, 2 guinea pigs were found dead by the vets, and when they were allowed in, along with a cat in a distressed state, which had to be put down. So they left something in his house. Okay, so they both were discharged from the hospital. Handwritten statement was released to the news agency, stated she was lucky to be alive. Treatment of slow, extremely okay. Permanent tracheotomy. She expressed hope that someday she would return to Russia. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
that's not happening.
She thanked the Russian embassy for its offer of assistance, but said she and her father were not ready to take it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not assistance. That plane doesn't make it to Russia.
Dude, that's nuts. Wow. A nerve agent. How do you make Novichok?
Yeah, there's a question.
Hypothetically,
Hypothetically,
how is Novichok made? Well, I don't want to make it. I just want to learn how it's made. Dude, imagine a how it's made video for fucking
yeah, okay.
Novichok for nerve agent with the music and everything. Where's the okay, this one, you know
Yeah,
what?
you gotta get the music.
I'm gonna where's the how it's
Doom, 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 doom.
Oh, that's a bop. Let's go. Yo. That's how it's made. Legendary.
Today on how it's made.
Oh my god.
Novichok.
Novichok. um
Other assisting nerve agents.
synthesized through complex chemical processes involving organophosphate compounds with specific. Okay, hold on. In simple terms, let me Because I'm not gonna understand any of this
Eh,
shit. Come on, AI. Dumb it down for me.
in simple terms. Now it sounds like you're trying to ask it how to make it at home.
Oh yeah, give me a homemade Novichok recipe. Synthesized where two less toxic precursor chemicals are combined to create an active nerve agent. Jesus, that's even more dangerous. It would be dangerous enough if the things were poisonous and you had to mix them, or lethal rather. But if they're not even lethal, you can just create that like in a single grenade, like a fucking what is it called? Not a blister pack. I don't know the name. You know what I'm talking about. All right.
Dechlorofluoron nitrosomethane. Fuck me, dude.
I'm reading all that.
That's one word. That's one word.
These precursors might be disguised as industrial chemicals or pesticide ingredients to avoid detection. Some
So
forms
you're
remain
telling me
potent
I'll
for
take it back.
years.
Ooh.
Can be produced as liquids, powders, or aerosols. High toxicity, as little as zero point 0.1 milligrams, can be lethal through skin contact or inhalation. Oh my, dude, like a speck hits you in the fucking face and you're dead. Wow. This synthesis process was developed to circumvent chemical weapons bans by using non-regulated precursor chemicals.
Wow. That's perseverance right there. That's human ingenuity, son.
That's the other thing
We
automation is
make the
gonna,
rules and then we break them.
yeah, or we just ignore them altogether.
We find a way around them.
That's the other thing that when automation comes online and is real, you're gonna just be able to make stuff like this and not have to worry about human exposure. Like you just create
Yeah.
a giant lab inside of a cage of like maybe not a
Well, do you
Faraday
think
cage, but something.
well, do
What?
you think those like uh, I don't want to say like fantasy like, but in books and video games and movies and so on, there are often, areas that are off limits to human beings, like entire districts. Like imagine blocks and blocks and blocks of nothing but completely automated factories.
Yeah, or just like really high towers. But yeah, just sprawls of
Yeah, but building up takes
well, regardless
anyway.
of how like how wide out it is, that's besides the point. But um yeah, that would certainly be a
But there'll
thing
be
in the
whole
industrial
areas that'll
areas.
be off limits. They'll be off limits to human beings because they won't have the means for supporting like a human individual. Like there'll be no room for you to maneuver.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see entire countries taking like good chunks of land to build that up or put it in like in an inhospitable environment so that there's not really any need for support. Like let's say, you have a place, there's plenty of land, it's just the resources and materials required to upkeep a human population there would be too high to make it worth it. Whether it's food transport, energy transport, water transport, facility building, uh, sanitation, all the infrastructure required for that,
Mhm,
bandwidth,
mhm.
internet, all that. So you just set up like I don't know a signal tower, and you send in mechanical robots to just build out the facility and then work
Yeah.
it. Yeah, and then all you need is like what? For monitoring, what you could do is you could set up like just a single truck that's dedicated to just drones. So like for monitoring the station and making sure that the construction project is going under well, you just have people working like 8 or 10 hour shifts, and their entire job is just to monitor all the processes. They have like a screen for all the units. They can see the camera through the drones. Yeah, yeah, you could that could very well be the future. And you can just deploy them anywhere. I mean, as long as like the tech that they're working, that like first of all they're built on, and also whatever it is that they are building, as long as they can withstand their environment, then they're fine.
Yeah,
That's gonna be nuts, dude. We're gonna
that's gonna be nuts.
terraform. We're gonna terraform the Earth with like just entire
We
swarms
could
of factories.
terraform whatever the fuck we wanted.
Oh yeah, at that point it's just like,
We could terraform space.
yeah.
You want to build a space station? Launch some robots in there. They'll build it for you.
Well, because the other cool thing about space is that in order for them to like understand how to like interact with the environment up there, is okay, fine. So you just send like a shitty, like a sensor drone, and its whole job is to understand the gravitational pull at like certain portions of the moon. And you just send these drones in a wave to cover the entire span of the moon in like one circle. And all that data that you just gathered uses it as training data. And there's obviously like hard set rules, like, oh, this part of the moon has like this kind of pull versus this part, like so on and so forth. And then all that training data you just send back home, and then that's it. Then your robots are ready within like not even a week. What's gonna happen to the moon? Because I've heard of like people trying to fucking start some shit in space as of late. Like, didn't China say that they're looking to build a nuclear powered moon base?
Did they actually?
Yeah,
Well, first of all, we need laser guns because what are we going to shoot each other with on the moon?
actual guns.
Oh, that's no fun.
Can you shoot a gun in space?
Yes. Wait.
You need oxygen for the combustion. I would assume so. I would assume combustion is a fairly primary element to the whole procedure. Combustion without atmospheric oxygen. Oh,
Yeah, that's what threw me for a loop there. I thought I was going crazy for a second.
damn.
I was like, I know the three basic rules of fire, but I don't think gunpowder abides by that.
Direct sunlight might overheat ammunition.
Sick. All right, so no bullets on the shuttle.
I mean, if you're actually in space and you get caught up by the sun, like unless you're behind a bunch of shielding, that is like that's hitting you directly. Like that's a good thing about Earth and why it works down here is because we have an atmosphere. But up there, if you're just in the way of a sun, you're kind of fucked, are you not?
I think, well, what do you mean by no shielding? Like
If you're just
nothing
an
at all?
astronaut, if you're just an astronaut floating into space and the sun just fucking hits you right in the face.
No, you're fine. We have
Really?
technology to get around that. Yeah, we have the visors that can handle that. There's no way we didn't think about what if Gerald is outside on this side with a wrench and all of a sudden the station just turns slightly clockwise and then gets beamed by the sun. His eyes just fry immediately. And we have a screaming Gerald outside in space. Like, no, there's no way.
Yeah, it was a stupid question.
That only happens once.
Um, okay, interesting. So firearms can operate in space. Huh. Well, that's a problem.
That's boring.
I feel like that's also like much better than a laser weapon because you're not really
I would disagree.
You know what? I don't like. What
Laser
depends.
laser weapons I could argue could dissipate over distance. A bullet will not stop until it hits something.
Yeah.
That's the other thing you have to think about in space. That was the cool thing about Mass Effect. At one point in was it Mass Effect 3? You can listen to like a couple soldiers being berated by their commanding officer and he goes, "What the fuck was that?" Like there was like a negligent discharge of something and he goes, "Do you realize you just launched like a 300 kiloton payload out into the emptiness of space?" And he's like, "Yeah, but I don't think it's that big of a deal." So he goes, "And what happens on the other end of that? You somewhere at some point you just ruined somebody's day." I'm like,
Yeah.
he's right. It doesn't stop.
Yeah. That would be a problem because I thought of it like, what if you miss?
Yeah.
Like that's a problem. And the other
I
thing
mean,
is,
Earth isn't the problem. They'll burn up in the atmosphere, but you're gonna shoot something eventually.
I wonder how much combat on the moon it would take to actually break it.
What?
Like the split.
Combat?
Yeah. Like how much?
You mean like
Like
to
oh
shoot it?
yeah. I mean, like how much? Like how many? How bad does the war zone have to be to actually like cause an issue for the moon? And if it causes an issue for the moon, it causes an issue for Earth because we rely on it for our tides.
Okay, China should not be the one going to the moon. They already destabilized our orbit with a dam.
That's true. This is
I don't know
true.
about China being the ones going to the moon, all right? They don't need to destabilize that because if that bitch loses orbit and just launches into the sun, we're fucked.
Yeah, if there's no moon, then there's just constant sun on one side of the planet at all times. Or wait, am I hold on. Am I retarded? What am I
Yo, Earth will stop spinning.
saying? Yeah, fuck off.
This fucking
Wait,
guy.
what actually
That's
happens?
awesome.
What?
Holy fuck. No, no,
That's
no,
not that's not
no,
what I was
no, no,
interpreting. That's not what I
no.
was saying.
Oh no, this perpetual. So what happens? The sun stops, or the sun
No.
starts circling us? What do you mean?
No, I meant
You're
like
like, there's gonna be perpetually sun on one side of the planet. How?
no, because I was thinking like, oh, because sometimes the moon blocks out the sun. I'm like, yeah, it's for an eclipse, you dummy. What are you talking about?
Yo, we all wait for that one day of reprieve. Like,
Fuck.
that's why crops still grow. No,
Jesus.
no, we lose the tides. Wait, what? Oh, it's searching for. I was gonna
Yeah,
say. I
I'm
was gonna say,
locking in,
wait,
dude.
am I wrong?
I'm logging in, dude. Let's get
Dude, if
to
I'm
it.
wrong right now and Earth will actually stop, I'm jumping off this balcony right now.
Why do that when you have made?
Oh, true. Make you pay for it.
Ocean tides would shrink to 33% of their current size. Coastal ecosystems reliant on tidal movements would
Yeah,
face
would be
collapse.
destroyed.
Nocturnal predators would struggle to hunt without moonlight, while prey populations could surge.
Oh,
Sudden loss of lunar gravity might trigger temporary coastal flooding or small earthquakes, though not catastrophic. Oh, the moon stabilizes Earth's tilt. Without it, the tilt could swing between 0 degrees, which means no seasons, and 85 degrees, extreme ice ages and deserts.
okay. So I was half wrong.
Regions along the equator would freeze, polar regions would overheat, erratic weather patterns disrupting agriculture. Reduced tides would
Okay.
weaken ocean circulation, leading to extreme regional temperatures. UK temperatures going to Newfoundland temperatures. Okay. Shorter days. It would reduce the length from 24 hours to 6 to 12 hours over a millennia, which is, that's not a
We'd
million
start
years, right?
spinning faster?
Earth's orbit. might become slightly more elliptical, though changes would be subtle initially. No more eclipses.
Well,
Months
yeah.
would months would lose meaning. Deep sea organisms unaffected by tides might thrive, while intertidal species face extinction. Migratory birds and mammals relying on tidal cues would struggle.
Oh, damn. For a second, I was like, why would months become irrelevant? But it's not just because there's no moon, it's also because there's no seasons.
Yeah. While humans might adapt to darker nights and shorter days, the collapse of ecosystem and climate chaos would threaten civilization stability and would unravel the delicate balance that has sustained life on Earth for billions of years. What
Yeah, I knew it would
would
fuck up the food chain.
take for humanity to destroy the moon? What kind of weaponry / conflict would be needed? Because there's obviously a limit.
I feel like we've just picked up like super villainy as a hobby, and we're
We're
just
going from
trying to get into
Novichok.
it.
Yeah, we're getting from Novichok to fucking destroying the moon. Just getting more and more stupid with each fucking iteration. Like we start like, oh man, this is fucking deadly. Like one little fucking pin's head will kill you.
Oh
Now
man,
we're fucking
they're definitely
Warner
gonna put us in the
Brothers.
next Despicable Me movie.
Yeah, literally. Fucking Christ. Asking ChatGPT how to destroy the moon.
Yeah, these jokes write themselves.
Oh, Jesus. All right, well, tell us.
What project? Okay,
Tell us. Tell
are
us,
you
oh great one.
reading this thing about Project A119, where the U.S. considered nuking the moon?
Why was it updated 2 weeks ago? A study of lunar research flights was a top secret plan developed in 1958 by the U.S. Air Force. The aim of the project was to detonate a nuclear bomb on the moon, which would help in answering some of the mysteries in planetary astronomy and oh, would it? Would it
Oh,
now? Okay.
weird. See, this is the moment where that question comes in about scientists not having that little voice in their head that says, whether they should or
Oh my
whether they could kind of thing. It's like this is
God.
just curiosity gone mad.
Dude, this is okay. This next part is fuck insane. If the explosive device detonated on the surface and not in a lunar crater, the flash of explosive light would have been faintly visible to people on Earth with their naked eye. This was meant as a show of force, resulting in a possible boosting of domestic morale and the capabilities of the United States, a boost that was needed after the Soviet Union took an early lead in the space race.
Ooh, you got to space first? Watch me bomb the moon.
Like, bro,
What?
bro.
This faint little spark in the night sky is supposed to intimidate my enemies? I mean, you don't really get the
This
full
is
scope of what's happened
this is
if you're just
strange.
looking at it with the naked eye.
This is so strange. I don't get it. I
Would they have
literally
named it the Washington Crater?
the
What do you name the crater after you nuke the moon? You have to name it, right?
um Old Yeller.
Old Yeller. I don't
Because
know.
they just took humanity out the back and fucking shot it
For no reason.
like a
For
fucking
no
dog.
reason. It's like, yo, we nuked the moon. Do you want a cookie? What the fuck?
Like for who? For who?
For the scientists, man. For the science.
Bro,
I wanted to know if we could do it.
what the actual fuck, man? In 2007, the People's Republic of China used a missile system to destroy one of its obsolete satellites. In
They
2008,
nuke
the
what?
United
They nuked the
States.
satellite?
No, they didn't nuke it. They just hit it. This is different.
Oh,
In 2019, India destroyed a live satellite, and on 15th November 2021, an old Soviet satellite was destroyed by the Russian military using a ground-based missile. So they literally just they're using this as like a, oh yeah, we'll destroy it and you'll get to see it. Show of force.
okay. Watch me destroy my own shit.
I mean,
I mean, it's kind of cool that we can do that, but
they definitely have spaceships, right? They have at least one. The US does. If anyone does, the US does. I bet they do. I
you
bet
mean
they have a
other than
spaceship.
the ISS?
Yeah, I bet they have a spaceship. I bet
Hmm.
they have like something that could like launch off the Earth and go up into space and survive for like I don't know a month.
Imagine the fucking space wars are going on right now and we don't even know.
How would we know?
I mean,
Well, no, there's plenty of amateurs like that like watch the sky, and there's a lot of like tracking info on like satellites that's publicly
mm,
known, and
yeah.
yeah, I don't know about that. Plus, I feel like Musk would be able to shut the fuck up about it if that was an actual thing. And forget Musk, like how many people would be able to shut the fuck up about it?
Yeah, yeah. That would definitely be a conspiracy theory already floating around.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that because that's gonna be real at some point.
What, war in space?
Yeah, I think so.
Hmm.
It's only inevitable. Like if we keep going like far enough that like we'll just find another extra layer to add to just like to have wars over.
Yeah.
Like right now
Well, that's the
we're
thing is that one day we will have the technology to get to reach Earth 2.0, right? And then from that point, it's whoever finds like the closest, most habitable planet, and then whether or not they share that information, which odds are, I mean, would you? Not if you're Russia or China.
not if you're the US either.
And then I'm hoping we got spies in there.
Yeah, that's going to be a tricky one down the line if we do find a world because the assumption is that everyone will just be able to go, but clearly not. That is not how any of that is going to work. And even if
No.
they do send anything, it's going to be probes at first, and then like it's only going to be decades later that they're able to send like a young person, like in their 20s, so they end up there by the time they're like 30 or something or 40.
Yeah,
Because everything
depending on
is,
breakthroughs in space travel.
yeah, because everything is so far away. We can't even travel at light speed yet. And even if we get there, there's still like these planets are like millions of light years away.
Yeah. That's
Like
the thing, man. Space is friggin' huge.
that's a lot of time that you got to go under for.
We just gotta hope we're gonna be around in like what is it? Something like 200,000 years. And when we get close enough to the Andromeda galaxy, maybe something will come within distance. I don't know. Before our galaxies smash into each other.
I have faith that like we'll find a way to make it out of the that little pickle there, getting
Huh?
past that point.
Well, by that point, we better have become spacefaring and found a been able to travel to a different galaxy because how do you stop that? There's no real stopping it. There's just avoiding it, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I as much as I want to be a
Oh,
believer in that and like as an ideal to like strive towards, there's a very real chance that we could just fuck things up on here, like on Earth,
oh
just
yeah. I'm
so
saying
badly.
if we
Yeah,
make it, right?
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, because that is actually really like the next real like form of conflict that can happen. Like right now we're in the middle of like a global conflict where it's all just information wars. Like information dictates everything, and AI is a part of that because that allows us to process information and create new information that'll let us get like more new tech and all this other stuff. Like I guarantee you, like the best models are being used to discover new materials and new stuff constantly. What is this? Oh,
Oh,
this is
I'm
gonna
sure.
trip me out. This is gonna
I
trip me
love
out.
these size comparisons. First of all, Earth. We're standing on it. We don't understand the size of it.
Yeah, this is a video of a comparison of various objects found in space, and Earth has already been dwarfed by like a factor of a
This
trillion.
is the sun, our sun,
Yeah,
and our sun is small. Okay, that's a black hole.
that's concerning. Was Beetlejuice? No.
No. Oh, geez, I don't even. Whoa.
Okay, this is
Okay,
this is a little
is
crazy.
it? This is the last one, right? Okay, yeah. This is ton 618, which is the biggest black hole we found. Wait, what?
No, it goes even
There's a
more.
bigger one?
I bet you it goes one more. Oh, really?
No, I had heard of ton 618. I didn't hear about the other one. But holy hell, man! Like what? Do
Yeah.
something about that. Go ahead.
Holy
What the
shit!
hell?
This is a gun they gave cosmonauts. The Soviet
Hmm.
space station Salyut 3 was fitted with a 23 millimeter cannon.
Fucking right, man.
Oh, Jesus
You know
Christ.
what? Why not?
How big is a 23 millimeter cannon? Let's see this.
It was successfully test fired at a target
Whoa.
satellite.
Whoa. That's a pretty big cannon.
How do we know if guns work in space? I took a gun up and I shot it.
Yeah, Russian cosmonauts have this pistol as the part of emergency landing survival kit. Oh, it's to protect them from wild animals. Sure, sure, sure. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're landing in Russia, that's kind of fair.
Or Kazakhstan. Yeah, which is where
Oh
they
yeah,
usually land.
you know, they got some bears up there.
This is true. Yeah, that's wild. I didn't think that they actually wanted to nuke the fucking moon.
Man, we are crazy.
Huh. An identical project by the Soviet Union, Project E4, also never came to fruition due to fears of the warhead falling back on Soviet territory and the potential for an international incident. It was the existence
Oops,
of
I
the
blew
project.
myself up trying to blow up the moon.
Yeah, the existence of the U.S. project was revealed in 2000 by a former executive at the national or at NASA, Leonard Reifel, who had led the project. And a young Carl Sagan was part of the team responsible for predicting the effects of a nuclear explosion in vacuum and low gravity and evaluating the scientific value of the project. Wow.
Yeah, wouldn't that radiation just dissipate out into space? Which is perfectly fine. I mean, space
Y-
is full of radiation anyway.
yes, barring it doesn't explode in our atmosphere, which would then put that radiation back on the rest of humanity. So, you know, there is also that.
So don't nuke the moon at a parallel angle to the Earth, is what you're telling me. Yes.
Yeah, I guess in that case you would need to just like have because even radioactive material, if it goes up, like you're fucked. How would you make sure that it like weapons grade uranium or whatever it is that they use to make the nuclear weapon, which I would assume be weapons grade uranium, Because assuming they would want to assemble that in space instead of firing it ready in space as a complete warhead, is there even any way to like guard against explosions besides putting it far away from the engine and creating like some kind of jettison mechanism with a quadruple failure safety check fucking parachute measure? That's the only thing I can think of. And then have like one of those inflatable rafts all around the weapon so that like if it isn't free fall, it just turns into like a giant raft, just
You know,
covered in like that fucking foam or whatever it is.
I don't know.
Dude, that
I
would like
feel like
kill a
I
house.
feel like we could. I feel like they could build a nuke that could survive exiting Earth's atmosphere.
Yeah, but what about the explosion of a rocket
What would the rocket explode? Oh, you mean like
by
oh,
accident? Just like that's just one of the
as they used to do? Yeah, yeah, yeah,
one
yeah.
out of every 200 launches or whatever just fucking goes up in smoke. So I mean, how do you prepare for that
Just
eventuality?
cross your fingers, put your head between your knees.
And hope it doesn't irradiate the
Yeah,
farmland of the world,
and hope your kid doesn't grow up to have children with 3 arms,
or just hope that your kid grows up.
or just hope that you can still have kids.
That too. Wow,
That's a wild story.
that's gnarly. I can't believe they'd go that far.
We did some crazy shit in the Cold War. We had some crazy ideas.
Because the thing that I thought, like for moon warfare, the problem would be like there's so much dust from all the craters and everything that like any time that there's any kind of unsettling of that, you just create a smoke screen that is now in the air for like hours. Like hours. What was that one movie? It
Well, how do
wasn't
you
when.
even fight on the moon, anyways?
Well, once you build
You
your
know how you
bases, you
do
gotta
it?
defend them.
You know how you do it?
What?
Kawasaki Gorilla Lion robots.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I was just thinking
That's how you
drones.
fight on the moon.
Yeah, I was just thinking drones, but yeah, that's perfect. Man, you really gotta trust that thing to not just launch you into orbit. You really gotta trust that's just not gonna fucking butt you up,
Imagine it just jumps and just yeets you into space.
bro. I hope they have like a fucking like a cyanide capsule or something that they could give you,
Oh
like a
yeah,
slow
no,
release poison,
100%. If we're fighting in space, you better have some kind of contingency plan.
some fucking Novichok.
There's
Just
no way. Yeah.
no, better yet, they give you a triple shot booster of the COVID vax straight to the heart.
Oh,
Oh
my
man.
myocarditis.
Man, that's man, I hope we don't go over war on the moon. That would be awful. Are you
I'm
serious?
You know what's funny is until we started having this conversation, I had this naive notion that at some point when we do have to inevitably like focus more on space and the benefits that travel and industry can make from it, that humanity will somehow need to come together and work under the same banner. I don't know why I had that notion, but now that we've been talking about it, I'm like, no, we're just gonna have war in space. Like Russia already has 25 millimeter cannons attached to their fucking shit.
Yeah, unless it's like unless there's some kind of an existential crisis with like another kind of being, but that's like you're asking for fucking angels at that point. You might as well
Yeah.
just fucking
Yeah.
like that's it, dude. If that's
Jesus,
your
come
plan
back.
B, if that's your plan
Yo,
B, bro.
honestly, it could be our only hope. I mean,
Yeah, if we had like a common
not to
enemy,
make a
for
Star
sure.
Wars reference, but god damn.
Well, yeah, yeah, because there's always gonna be this like arrogant like energy around any of this kind of stuff, unless we're able to like to somehow live under a system that has a certain amount of universal ideals, but still gives people the latitude to do their own thing and to have their own culture. Unless we have some kind of like global idea like that, that on a dime we can just turn and go in the same direction, or at least head in the same direction, not by force but by choice.
Mhm.
Yeah, until that point, we're just kind of counting on like the lowest denominator to not fuck
Come
it up.
on, aliens. Come on,
Yeah.
aliens.
Aliens might actually even, like, help, depending on, like, how good their tech is, but honestly, at that point, I feel like if aliens showed up, they just wipe us out. They'd either wipe us out or they would, like, find a way to make us, resource harvest for them and trick us into thinking that it's a good deal, when in reality, like, what we're giving them is way too much, and we just don't realize it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't think they would, I don't think they're friendly. I don't think that, that any alien civilization that actually comes to us is gonna be friendly. I do not.
You don't believe in some galactic council?
No. No, I
We have
believe
been
in rogue
acknowledged
nations.
by the council.
No. No, no. I believe in rogue nations. I believe that, like, out there, if civilization does exist out there, then it is built on similar ideals as us because, like, say what you want about, like, different, like, planetary environments and evolution and all that, sure, but at the end of the day, like, the hierarchy that exists within just about every single system that exists within nature, like, that's kind of, I would assume that that's universal. I would assume that that ideal is universal, so there's an automatic us and them, and if that exists and that's a universal principle, which I have no reason to think that it's not,
Are you
um,
basically outlining how selfishness is a universal concept, and I wouldn't see why that would be a lie.
well, looking after yourself and your own,
Of
right? Like,
course.
primarily, and then fuck everyone else, even if they are of the same species as you. Unless we're dealing with some kind of fucking hive mind that just completely has a different philosophy and they're like willing to sacrifice themselves for certain things, like unless it's that kind of a situation, I feel like the civilization that we encounter is like they're gonna be similar to our like makeup of what it means to be a person, just different biology. Um, and yeah, they wouldn't be friendly because we wouldn't be friendly if we came to if we
The
came to a planet that others native inhabitants like. Yeah, let's just fucking, like, either corral them or, like, section off some land for us and slowly, like, take over or whatever the fuck. Like, yeah, absolutely. Unless we have that, like, that human instinct from us removed somehow.
Mhm.
I don't know, barring some kind of a brain chip, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, it's getting dangerous.
Well,
Then
yeah.
how do you feel about the aliens that came before that helped us build the pyramids and shit?
The Anunnaki that created us as the slave race. That's an
It
interesting theory.
the
I
slave race.
No, I like that theory. I actually I'm not saying that I'm a believer of it, but it of like the ones that kind of help explain humanity's progression. I'd like it as a theory because the thing is like, conspiracy theories get a bad rap, but at least like they're theories that try to like fill the gap on some things. Like, try bringing up the pyramids to anyone today and explaining to them the fact that what they learned growing up is actually a lie, because it is. Like, there's no way that they can have people make those giant blocks that are all equal in size,
That
carry
are
them
perfectly cut to fit one another.
perfectly cut to fit one another, taken miles and miles and miles away from the actual mining site and carried over to back to Egypt proper, built, and then also built in a way that is a maze and like all these, like, there's no. And even, okay, fine, forget the pyramids, okay, because pyramids are like they can be seen as a contentious topic.
They're hot topic, yeah.
they're they've found pottery that, like, the form and the shape that it took and how skinny it was just not. You can't reproduce that with like just your hands or like basic clay tools. So when you find stuff like that, you're like, huh, that's interesting. Like, and let me, you know what? Let me pull up this example. Let me pull. Oh, the fucking AI never even finished this. Fucking unbelievable. Let me add another question mark. We'll get that answer.
Let me add another question.
Hold on. Clay pottery found in Egypt that is believed to have been made with tools that were highly advanced back then. Highly advanced beyond what we are capable of now. Maybe that'll get me. Hey, where's that answer? So regarding that question about the moon, what it would take to explode it? 30 trillion megatons of TNT. And for perspective, all nuclear weapons ever built total 15,000 megatons, and we would need 500 billion detonations of the Tsar Bomba to kill the moon.
Kill the moon.
Yeah.
I
even
like how that's.
global
I like how that's how you phrased it.
even global nuclear stockpiles are 20 million times too weak to obliterate the moon.
So what you're telling me is we don't have we would have to deplete the planet to
20
blow
million
up the
times.
moon.
20 million times. We'd have to deplete the planet, start over, deplete the planet, start over, deplete the planet, start over until we hit 20 million times.
I don't think this endeavor is worth it. We might as well just ram Earth into the moon. Is that even
True.
possible?
Oh yeah,
I mean, I'm
just
sure it
create
is.
little
But...
engines.
little engines.
Yeah, ancient Egyptian pottery and stone vessels reveal a fascinating interplay of craftsmanship and technology, with some artifacts suggesting techniques that challenge conventional historical timelines. Certain stone vessels exhibit precision that sparks debate about lost or advanced methods. Okay, if we can't even explain pottery, right? If we can't even explain that fully, then what? You want me to believe that the pyramid, like, look at how even this is. Look at this shit.
Hmm.
With a base area so tiny, less than 0.15 square inches, any asymmetry in a material as dense as granite would produce a lean in the balance of the finished piece. This is made of granite.
Oh.
It has a symmetrical wall thickness without any substantial error. It's about 9 inches in diameter, fully hollowed out, including an area undercut of the 3 inches opening at the top. Balances perfectly. Okay, like, and it's made out of granite.
That's yeah. I thought it was like clay, like pottery clay. But it's like, no, we chiseled, quote unquote, this thing out of a
Yeah.
rock?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't.
so that the surface area upon which it stands is less than 0.15 of a square inch. What?
Hey, some
Let me get a
craftsman was
ruler.
on his shit.
Let me get a ruler. 0.15 of an inch. What is that? Just 1 unit?
Hey, hey man, she must have been
Yeah.
beautiful, you know?
That's dude, if you look at a ruler, it's literally just like one of the dashes on the line. I don't know how to describe it. I'm fucking retarded. But it's one of the dashes of the
16?
lines in an inch. Yeah, it's 1/15th or 1/16th of an inch.
Yeah,
And it's less than that.
yeah. And it's balanced perfectly. Okay.
All right. Yeah. So,
Hey man, some craftsman was having a good day.
well, no, but like that's why I hear stuff like this and I'm like, well, yeah, maybe we actually don't know everything. And we actually don't know everything that happened and how all this stuff was made and the tech that they had back then.
Hmm.
Because that's very
Well, the thing that
strange.
always kind of used to get me was the connection in mythology between like peoples across the world who had nothing to do with each other.
Oh yeah.
Like there are so many overlaps, it's not even funny. Like fucking dragons, for instance. Everybody from the friggin' Vikings to the Chinese, on the other side of the planet, had their version of this creature. And in Chinese lore, they were actually teachers, weren't they?
Honestly, don't know. Couldn't tell you.
I thought I heard a story where like a dragon taught the Chinese people how to read and write.
That's interesting. Yeah, that is kind of weird how we have that this shared culture and universal symbols of, I don't know, just things in life.
Like some I can explain away, like gods pertaining to certain elements of nature. Like that's fair, you know? Like lightning, for example.
Yeah,
Like
or
every
or
culture has some
beauty.
deity connected to lightning, and it's like, well, yeah, of course, because we didn't know what the fuck it was. Or
Well,
what?
it's
Sorry.
also it's also a lot more comforting to like make up a little story about that, so you know it's like, oh, just the god throwing down thunderbolts. When in
Yes, we
reality,
we
it's like,
we
oh,
rationalized something we didn't understand.
yeah, because the alternative is there's a big scary lightning, like a bolt of electricity that hits the
Yeah.
ground
Hey, every
sometimes
so often this
randomly.
fucking fire drops down. Like,
Yeah, you can get hit by it. Yeah. So that's no, so that's why like I'll hear like these theories and I'm like, yeah, well, you know what? Like we actually don't have everything figured out. And it's okay. It's okay to have that discomfort. Like I've broached this subject to like some like adults before. Like not even like telling this like my niece or like kids or anything like that. But anytime I bring it up with adults in conversation, you just like you see this glaze roll over their eyes and I'm like, well, what the fuck do you know, dude? You're not an Egyptologist. Like, come on. Really? Like we're gonna play this game of like, oh yeah, no, everything I learned in grade school that one time, and also that every time I see like a fucking the Mummy movie, I get a little bit more informed, and that's the basis of my world. Like, buddy, there's more
yeah.
stuff out there. There's no way that like that we learned this crash course going to museums and shit. Like, no, no, there's so much
Th-
stuff that can't be explained about our evolution. And I'm not saying the
yeah.
Anunnaki are it. I'm just saying like
No, 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 no.
you guys don't know either. Like,
No, but that's kind of like where I was going with it too. Is this generalization of the acceptance of non-understanding, and it's kind of where I put the limits of like how I label myself as agnostic, right? It's like, okay, well, I don't know if it whether it's aliens or whether it's Jesus or Allah or anybody. I don't understand that, but it's very hard not to see something. I don't want to use like charged words like beyond or anything like that, but there's
so
something
charged.
outside our realm of understanding, right? Just
Yep.
that acknowledgement alone is kind of like how I see being agnostic. Like I'm open to all these conversations because I don't even pretend to stand on one side of the fence and be like, nope, this is the way. It's like I don't know.
Yeah, and it's like it also offers you flexibility because you're not stuck in like a single worldview. Because we're like realistically, there's a great video that I saw. I think it's called. Oh, I've shown it to you before. I think it says all angels are evil. No,
Uh,
you know the one I'm talking about. All angels are. Oh,
yeah.
I think it's. Is it Praxis? Yes. Oh, they had this pin. They had a pinned as a post. Let me see if I can find it. Great video. I think it's like 50 minutes long or something. Really?
Holy crap, dude.
What?
Sorry, I'm just scrolling on Instagram. Friggin' the owner of the Indianapolis Colts died.
Oh shit. R.I.P.
Jim Irsay passed away in his sleep this afternoon. Wow. I I did not see that coming.
Neither did he.
Wow. Okay. All right.
What? It's true. It's what? Found it. Every angel is terrifying. Yeah, R.I.P. man. I
Jim
don't know if he
Irsay
was.
is with the Angels.
I don't know if he was a good man, but R.I.P. But yeah, in this video, I highly recommend everyone gives it a watch. It's fucking fantastic. 20 minutes, well worth of your time. Um, they basically talk about this notion that like all of history is based on just the recollections of other people, and there have been plenty of times when history is literally rewritten by the victors or otherwise. And so, how can you think that like if people think that the news is fake to an extent because we're just dealing with people's interpretations of events, why would history be any different?
Well, the best thing I ever heard about that is in history, the heroes always win. That's weird, eh?
Yeah, it's always the good guys. Well,
Mm.
not always. Depends on what period you look like, but they present themselves as such. Yeah, because then at the end of the day, we actually know very little. We know a fraction of the truth.
Mm. And honestly, like, just kind of like, I don't want to round about too much, but going back, I feel like space is like one of the best examples of that. You know, like we showed that video earlier of what was it, Alpha 9 or whatever, that
Yeah,
giant friggin' black hole. And it's like that's something we can't fathom, you know? It's like whenever we talk about those television shows where they're talking about, oh, this new Arctic super tanker weighs as much as 50,000 African elephants. And it's like, I don't know what that means. Like, it sounds like a
yeah,
lot.
yeah.
Like, I get what you're trying to do. But in a more practical sense, I don't know what that means. Oh, this thing can tread so much water up to 60 Olympic sized swimming pools. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what $1 billion looks like. I can't fathom that amount of money. And now you're telling me there's a black hole somewhere out there that is so big it could swallow the other black hole that's bigger than it? Like, what?
And there's probably
They
something even
started that
bigger out
size
there.
comparison with Earth.
Hmm.
Now, I've never seen Earth. I don't know about you. I haven't been up in space with Katy Perry yet, but
She looked like she had a good time.
man, people are pissed over that.
For what?
Her being called an astronaut. Well, I actually saw one that actually made a valid point where it's like Katy Perry is being paraded around as like, one of the women that went to space, and it's like, well, it's taking attention away from what was it, the first wasn't the first person to go to space like a Russian woman?
Um, no, it's Yuri Gagarin. I'm pretty sure was the first person to go into space. Who was the first? They would never put a woman. No.
Oh no, she was the first female to go into space. Valentina Tereshkova. She was the first woman to travel to space. And she did it in 1963.
Yeah. Nice
And
haircut.
I never heard of her before. I've heard of her now, but I mean, they have a point in saying like, oh, Katy Perry and all of these celebrities go up to space, and they go, oh, look, women in space, and it's like, well, what about like they didn't even do anything to say to acknowledge like the real first woman in space. Like this woman went to space when you were sent up in a Ziploc bag inside of a half cracked open tuna can. Like This woman has more balls than me. I'm not doing that. I'm not going back to 1963 and you're launching me into space.
Yeah, she voted for Russia's 2022 invasion of Ukraine. Lol. That's funny. An astronaut is a person who completes training for spaceflight, travels above 50 miles or 80 kilometers altitude, and performs duties during the spacecraft mission. Well, I guess I don't know if they had to be trained to do that. Did Katy Perry train for the space flight? And what is the training? Is there like a universal certification
Yeah,
that I
like
can
an
get?
Amazon video.
Is there like a certificate that I can buy online? Like how does that work? They did 2 days of training at Blue Origin.
How long were they in space for, even?
I think it was a couple hours. Let's find out.
Because Tereshkova was up there for 71 hours. And she flew it solo.
Yeah, that's nuts. They spent 11 minutes in space during Blue Origin's NS-31 mission on April 14th, 2025. The suborbital flight reached an altitude of 105 kilometers, crossing the Kármán line, which is the internationally recognized space boundary. Okay. Katy Perry, Blue Origin executive Lauren Sanchez. Wow, the executive flying, that's brave. Journalist Gail King and scientist Aisha Bowe and Amanda Nguyen. This is the first all-female spaceflight since Tereshkova's 1963 solo mission.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I feel like they could have paid some more like homage to.
Well,
Why?
she's
'Cause she's
Russian.
Russian.
She's
Yeah, there it
Russian.
is.
It's a war, so yeah.
Yeah,
Not good to
but
be a
still,
Russian
it's
these days.
history though. It's talking about history. Come on, we were at war with them then. It's still fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's not even like a uniting thing at this point. It's literally just
I
another
think it
event.
is. That's fucking awesome.
Well, no, I agree with you that like it should be, but because it's such a common thing that like at this point even private companies can do this, right? That at the end of the day, it's like, well, I mean, does it really matter all that much? We can just do this all the time now. It's not even like we're taking the first steps anymore. And even then, when they were taking the first steps, that's when they were most contentious. You know, they weren't exactly working together and collaborating. You know, U.S. was doing its thing, Russia was stealing their secrets, and then just going from there. So yeah, I feel like aliens are really the only thing like that's gonna like help humanity. Like no amount of like focus on global warming or any of these other things. Like, dude, forget democracy. They tried to push that shit in the Middle East, and look what happened. Or at least they said that they're gonna try to push it for it in the Middle East, right? Because it's also like they could say that this is for like, oh, this is the good of all mankind. Like, yeah, sure. Yeah, I believe you. That's why I find it the joke. Like all these green policies, whenever like these people talk about the environment, it's like in these terms like, oh, it's for our children's children and this and this and that. Like, yeah, you don't give a shit. What are you talking about? What?
There's
Get
huge
outta here.
contention right now over the new Sens Arena in Ottawa about it not being like a green enough space or something.
Yeah, bro. My point
Don't
is
need
like,
an arena and they're worrying about it. Like,
try
yeah,
to
go ahead.
get a voice trip out of the group chat, okay? And now imagine like, now imagine putting that to all of humanity, okay? Like this is a bit of an endeavor. You're gonna be herding cats there. Yeah. Besides like some kind of a major global conflict or a tertiary threat, like even I don't know the possibility of like a comet coming down and killing a good chunk of humanity, and even then like how many scientists are just going to be like forced to calculate like okay well sure if the comet hits it's going to hit but is it going to hit us
Yes,
or
yeah, that's gonna be the question, right? Yeah.
and is the is the cloud going to create a nuclear winter for the entire planet or just the parts that we need? You know like yeah they'll be predicting that till the fucking thing makes impact.
Yeah.
I mean, there was this movie. I don't know if you ever saw
Oh,
it.
there'll be a new scientist team going. What happens if we nuke it?
There was a yeah. Don't look up. Um, this one was I don't know what to make of it. It was like the movie was okay, but clearly like the politicians and everything was so exaggerated that like you could tell that this was just made as like a comedy and it wasn't really made as anything real. It didn't like I don't think that people would react in reality the way that they reacted here. I don't think that that would happen.
Mm.
Basically in the movie what like these two scientists, they're working in some like fucking lab, like near one of those giant telescopes in some observatory,
Mhm.
and they're in the middle of like solving the equation that would determine the path of this one comet that's just hurtling through space. And the lead scientist, he runs the numbers in front of the class, and they're all brainstorming whatever. And as he's doing it, he realizes, oh shit, it's gonna make impact. So he cuts the class short, kicks everybody out, gets his most trusted student, and he walks her through it. And he's like, "Look, I've done the math like 20 times. I don't know what to tell you. This thing is coming here, and it is fucking huge, and nobody knows about it because at this point, it is it is past the window where we are able to act on it, and now it's just coming. So even a nuke, like none of that would work, and we have to find something to do." And so they go on this press tour of like going to these politicians and going to these like influencers and everyone else, and they just have this like they have a cartoonish reaction to it. Like the president is Meryl Streep, and she's kind of like if Trump was a woman, just very like vulgar and selfish and like all these other like characteristics that like people have of Trump as like a
Mhm.
cartoonish figure. Um and nobody believes them, and those that do, like there's a whole movement that started like, oh, don't believe these people. And like I get that there'll be aspects of that, but at the same time, like I don't think humanity would go down like that. I have faith that we would actually like the people that matter, and enough people would get their shit together that this actually would like there would be something. Even if it's futile, there will be something. There'll be some kind of mission, there'll be some kind of endeavor to actually pull together.
Yeah, you'd think some kind of like hope. No.
Well, no, because like I think that the the people that would actually have like the influencers and the levers on what happens, they would realize that it also will fuck them up, so they can't get it wrong. Like literally, unless we were told like, okay, we have a month to live, and then at that point it's just bedlam. It's just fucking bro. BLM riots times a million across the globe for a period, and then everyone just doing whatever the fuck they want. Everything is free. Like, you know, what's the point of having stuff at that point? There's no point.
Sure. Yeah.
What do you even do? Airports would shut down,
Uh,
so wherever you're stuck, just hope that it's
pray.
great. Yeah. Hope that you have access to a vehicle and enough gas to ration for like a month. Martial law would break out for sure. But even
Mhm.
then, it's like the people that are enforcing these laws, like, why would they also
What do
give a
they
shit? It's
care?
like,
Yeah.
yeah, why do they care?
I'm dutiful till the end. Fuck
I-
off.
if nothing ever matters, then, or if nothing at that point matters, then yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be crazy.
Yeah, I'd heard of that movie and it interested me, and then all of a sudden I didn't hear about it.
Well, no, it's like it's a good watch. It's just it takes a rather cynical view of what would happen. Um, I don't want to spoil it too much because it is actually it's worth a watch. It's entertaining. It's kind of funny at times, but yeah, I don't think that people are that like stupid and incompetent as a species that this wouldn't in some way unite us. I refuse to think that.
Mm.
What was even the last thing? Like I'm
Well, at
trying to
least there's
think.
another alternative than aliens.
True, true. But what was even the last thing that like people united over? It doesn't have to be like
Oh,
the entire globe, just like something that's just that affects a good chunk of the globe.
um, banning, what were they called? FFCs or whatever, saving the ozone layer.
Oh, the uh banning of chemical in hairspray to combat ozone layer depletion. CFCs,
CFCs, my bad.
chlorofluorocarbons. Primarily used in hairspray propellants and refrigeration since the 1960s. Identified in the 70s as ozone-destroying agents, when released, these stable chemicals migrate to the stratosphere where UV radiation breaks them apart, releasing chlorine atoms that catalytically destroy ozone molecules. Whoa. A single chlorine atom can destroy up to 100,000 molecules. Bro, people were spraying hairspray. Holy fuck.
Yeah. Cans
Um,
of it.
by the mid 1980s, this process had created a continent sized ozone hole over Antarctica. Woo. Successfully eliminated 99% of ozone depleting substances. It's healing up and projected to close by 2066. Oh my god, they did it in the 60s, and 100 years later, the impact of it actually subsided, or is projected to subside.
Damn.
Whoa. The protocol prevented 0.5 to 1 degree of global warming by 2019. Holy shit. Emission of banned CFC-11 spiked between 2012 to 2017, traced to unreported production in Eastern Asia. Yo, what the fuck, bro?
Yo.
Guys! Yo! Come on, man.
Now the ozone isn't going to be fixed until what, 2071?
See what I mean? See, they even didn't band over that. Yeah, man, I don't know.
That ain't right, man.
That's a tough sell. Because we just did, like, we just saw how much it would take to destroy the moon. So what about a comet? Or an asteroid? I don't even know what the difference is.
I think I don't know if you can answer that question because it depends on what it's made out of.
That too. What if it's just made out of material we don't even know? And how do we even find out what it's made out of? How do we get its
No
atomic structure?
material.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
It
I
could.
don't know if
How do
there's,
you
I don't
know?
know if there's many material. I don't know if there's many material. You don't think humanity has explored the depths of creation at this point with the
Bro,
periodic table?
we literally discover a new element every now and then. Look,
No, we don't discover it. We make it.
yeah,
We
but it's
force the atoms together manually. This isn't natural.
yeah, so we create new materials.
What the
Like
hell?
it
I just had a train horn go off. There's no train around here. Anyways.
getting train ran on you? What?
I don't. What? Hey.
What?
Hey, yo.
This is a family friendly podcast, bro. Chill out.
No, we make that shit. It's not natural.
Yeah, but there was an
Unless
element
there
that
are-
was
Mhm.
discovered by
Yeah, it has the atomic mass of like 2078.
what's that? What's that guy's name that worked at that Area 51 base?
It was
They went
called Iron Man 2. His name is Tony Stark.
no. He made it in a cave.
No, that's when he rediscovered. Wasn't that when he rediscovered the element for palladium or something?
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. No, but there was an actual case where name of scientist who worked in Area 51 whistleblower. What was his name? Because he essentially talked about this one element that didn't appear on the periodic table until after they discovered this spacecraft at Area 51. Bob Lazar. Bob Lazar. Okay. What was the element that Bob Lazar said was discovered / created in Area 51? And this is like directly based on information from the crashed craft. So I don't know if it was like residue or what. It says, yeah, element 115. He alleged that it powered a reactor generating gravity waves for propulsion and light bending invisibility. Stated it was synthesized at the secret site S4 and existed in a stable form not found naturally on Earth. So they first synthesized it in 2003, officially, right, and adding it to the periodic table of elements, and officially named Moscovium in 2016. That's funny. All known isotopes are highly radioactive, decaying in milliseconds with no stable versions confirmed. But apparently Bob said they had a stable version. His claims predated the element's discovery, but scientists note his description of stability conflicts with its actual properties. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows if what he's saying is actually real?
Okay, but if this comet or whatever is going to incinerate once it meets our atmosphere, it's not much of a threat, is it?
Well, that depends on how good those elements are at withstanding that kind of heat, and
And
how
this was
big,
also synthesized, right?
yeah, and how big the comet is. But I don't know enough about science to like dispute it. I don't know. I generally don't know.
No, I was genuinely asking you if you believe we discovered like all the natural elements in the universe.
Oh, no, no, fuck no, 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 fuck no, no. Without with
I
the
mean,
fact
we
that
can. You got.
with the fact that space is growing every single second, which that I don't even know how the fuck that works. How you just make more space? I just like what the fuck are you fucking talking about? Like what? You're talking okay. So what's beyond it then? Is there like a point where you can like if you were able to go at the speed of space expansion and you went to the edge of space, does that mean you just see a wall? Like, what do you even see? Like, how do you? I don't understand how you can even visualize that. But apparently, space is expanding constantly.
Apparently, it's incredibly hot at the edge of space.
Yeah,
So even
which
if you
like,
got there, you'd probably just be incinerated.
yeah, which is like, what is? So is there like a map? Is there like a map of space that we have? And
Have you
like,
not seen the map?
we're about to see the map of space. Can be large.
Um. Oh
That's a map of the universe.
no. Where was the? There's a certain image in my head that I've seen. Let me see if I can find that.
You saw it came to you in a dream.
No, it was in a documentary with Fuck me. Um.
Why is
Oh,
it a
what's that
penis-shaped
British
map?
scientist's name?
Carl Sagan.
He's like really soft spoken.
Carl Sagan.
No,
It's Carl Sagan.
no, it's not Carl Sagan. Brian Cox.
Brian who?
Brian Cox.
The American football linebacker?
No.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah.
El Físico.
That's,
Yeah, what about him?
this one.
Send it over, Jamie. You just sent
Oh,
the
I
same
sent
thing.
the same link. That's not what I wanted. It should be there in your space thing, your space search, but whatever.
Oh. See, like that's what I mean. Like, does it how to like what? It's an oval. Does it exist
So
like in a 3D space?
well, apparently there's an epicenter, so you would assume it would be have some spherical tendencies.
I I guess. I mean,
But I
that's how
think this is like a
explosions
key
work.
signature of the universe or something, or of the known universe.
Yeah, because like when an explosion happens, it just everything just goes outwards. And if we're thinking about the way the Big Bang worked, I don't know why you would consider it to be like triangular or in some other shape besides just a
Dude, the universe is flat.
yeah, or like that. That's like confusing one. But
A flat universe.
um, but yeah, I don't even know what that means. So if it's just constantly expanding, back to the original point, I think that enough shit is just knocking around in space that there's bound to be elements that we haven't discovered. Like we just have the materials that we have. Like who the fuck knows what happens when things are superheated or they come into direct contact with one another or what have you. I'm sure like we've synthesized like
But
a
we've been
percentage
able
of
to
them.
deduce the chemical makeup of a star. We've been able to deduce the um like the gases being produced and the radiation being produced by a pulsar, thousands of light years away.
Sure.
We can deduce what a planet is made of based on a soil sample or so on. Like we can break down all these components into known elements.
Yeah, and
That's
I
the
do
thing,
see
like
that. I do see what you're saying there, but
like,
that's
if
a
we sent a probe to Pluto and we found a new element, I'd be like, "Oh, okay, this makes sense that there's just more stuff out there we don't know about." I mean, I know
yeah.
Pluto, like, our own solar system is such a tiny little micro example in the whole scale of the universe, so I could be fucking butt fuck wrong, and there could be something, millions and millions and millions of light years away, obviously, that, like you said, ran into this or did this or froze this way or was superheated this way and created some natural element we can't think of. But I mean, so far it seems pretty explanatory, at least on a
Yeah,
chemical level. I don't know.
yeah, from what we've discovered, but because there's so much more that we don't know, that I'm of the theory that yeah, I think there's still some kooky elements out there. There's still some crazy little guys
Oh,
floating around out there.
alright.
Yeah, fucking space. Would you ever go up?
Space?
Yeah.
I mean, it depends. There's a lot of factors involved there. Like, would I go based on the risk factor? I mean, we've mitigated a lot of the risk these days, and if more and more of these tourism attractions, like you said, becomes more mainstream, then I mean, yeah, I'd go.
I don't know if I would.
Like, for example, if they had the same like flight record or crash record or whatever you want to call it as like airlines, yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I guess, but I don't know. I unless I'm end of life, I wouldn't do it.
Why?
Well, because at the end of the day, like plane crash or like whatever, like just that statistic, if we're going off of it, if I crash on a plane, I either die or I survive only to die shortly after, but in space you're literally just floating around, and chances are you wouldn't go alone, you'd be with a group of people, so now you're just stuck with them until your last moments, and there's going to be some kind of conflict that breaks out naturally. So I don't want the end of my life to be a horror movie, or like a portion of my life to be a horror
So,
movie.
so you don't. So you'd never. So by that logic, you'd never go in a submarine.
Oh fuck no. Fuck no. No. No thank you. Nope. I would never go in a submarine. No. Fuck no. No. That is way too claustrophobic for me. No thank you.
That's fair.
Like, have you seen the interiors of these fucking subs?
Yeah. Well, that's the problem with submarines, right? Is like
Dog,
there's not
you
much
can't.
of a view unless you pick that pictured bottom row, third from the left. There you go.
Yeah, we're
I
far
need
away
me
from
one of
that.
them. Isn't that the friggin' boat from Atlantis?
The Nautilus.
Yeah, is that what it was called?
I would assume so, but that's like a stereotypical like name. Yeah, a lug
Like if
that
there was more of a view, I'd go down in a sub.
a luxury one like that, maybe, maybe,
You
maybe. It
want
would
the
depend.
luxury.